Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth podcast. I'm Jack Smith.
I'm Shrikar Rajendran.
I'm Anish Gupta.
Today, we're doing something a little bit different. It's not a full podcast episode. We're just reacting to some breaking news in the NFL. Rob Gronkowski comes out of retirement and is immediately traded to the Buccaneers. Guys, first reaction, what do you think?
I definitely think this is potentially one of the most impactful moves of the offseason. And I think this pairing between Gronk and Brady, we've seen it before, and I think it could make the Buccaneers not just the NFC South's best offense, but pending that defense, it could also change the balance of power potentially from Kansas City to Tampa Bay. Like, that may be exaggerating, but I feel like that's just how good these two have been together and can be again.
I think everyone's overreacting. They did a fourth rounder is still it's still a decent pick. But when they say Brady and Gronk, I feel like, well, one, Brady's 43, and two, Gronk has not, or he'll be 43 when he plays. And also Gronk hasn't come back in a year, and also he is injury prone. So while it does look really good, the Bucs look really, really formidable right now. They still lack offensive line help. They still don't have a consistent running back, and their defense, their secondary at least, needs a lot of work. So everything's still up in the air. Obviously, you do have the GOAT under center, but I need to see it first. I won't see it. I won't believe it until I see it with my own two eyes. Can they be a playoff team? Absolutely. Can they be a Super Bowl contender? For sure. But are they right now? Playoffs, yeah, but I don't see them as a Super Bowl contender just yet. I have to see how it works out, because Brady did play with the best secondary in the league last year, and he's going from the best to one of the worst. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was torn when I heard about this, because the first thing that immediately came to mind is, wait, didn't they have O.J. Howard, who they barely used last year? And I think
they were trying to trade him.
Yeah, but think about it. I think O.J. Howard is one of the better tight ends in this league when he gets a shot. The only problem is the Buccaneers have decided to screw him over time after time, and now they're trading for Rob Gronkowski, which should take even more of the little playing time he got last year. So a 1 year, I would assume that Gronk is max 1 year on the Buccaneers. Because he'd have to get a new contract anyway. And I don't think they'll re-sign him. I think he'll probably just retire again. But they're throwing away their future tight end that I thought that O.J. Howard could be just for this 1 year of Gronk. And I know that he plays well with Tom Brady, but we also haven't seen him play in a while. And because of that, I wonder what his investment level will be like with Tampa Bay, because he doesn't have Bill Belichick coaching him. And he's coming back for one season where everyone just assumes he's there to, have fun and play with Tom Brady one last time. So I wonder how truly invested he will be in this team. And I think it could create not problems in the locker room, but people could be a little bit upset that he's coming out of retirement and almost guaranteed a spot with Tom Brady because of what they've had in the past.
I mean, yes, Gronkowski has been injured, but he's also been out of football for over a year. Like, we gotta view it like all those aching bones and all those injuries, they've had a chance to rest, basically. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but Gronk has lost some serious weight. And this is breaking news, but football players know how to bulk up, and Gronkowski has at least 5 months to do it. And we know Brady has obliterated numerous passing records and has reached 9 Super Bowls. But what I feel like what's sometimes forgotten is just how spectacular Gronk was. Because when he retired in March, his 91 receiving touchdowns from 2010 to 2018, they were the most of any player in that time period. And his 12 playoff receiving touchdowns trail only Jerry Rice's 22. So I feel like he's still got it. And he can still overcome all those injuries because he's had time to rest.
It's, again, like we've seen with the NFL, sure, bulking up is one thing. But a year off from tackle football, from full-on pad work, right, full-on immersing in people, like it's really hard to recover from that. And we've seen that with Le'Veon Bell, for example, right? Obviously, he held out. People were like, oh, he's still the best running back in the league. He'll get back to form. I was one of those people. I believed he could easily amass 1,000 yards. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that. And he really struggled, under 4 yards a carry. He didn't have a really good year, and now people are questioning: is he still top 5? Is he still top 10? Even can he really regain his Steelers form? And Gronk is still heading to a new system. Arians has never been good with tight ends. OJ Howard, I think he'll probably get shipped off if I'm being honest in the draft. I think he'll probably get shipped off sometime before the start of the season. They've wanted to shop him, and getting the best tight end, arguably the best tight end of the 21st century, for essentially not that much. I mean, you can easily, like, for the Bucks, you can easily get that 4th-round pick back with OJ Howard. Hell, you can even get more. It depends on what they do. But like you said, Jack, OJ Howard is one of the better tight ends. It really just depends on how they use him. I don't know if he's in their future plans. And personally, I'm not sure if they want him to have him in their future plans, because I'm still unsure what he is. He really hasn't had a consistent, productive year yet. He's had flashes. But Rob Gronkowski, again, like, that year is very, very pivotal. Obviously, the last time we saw him, he made one of the greatest, one of the most kind of game-changing catches in Super Bowl history. Obviously, that kind of ended the game, right? Obviously, the game wasn't going anywhere, and then Tom Brady just lobs it up to Gronkowski. Well, in hell, I mean, they were able to score, and game was over, essentially. So, I mean, we've seen Gronk have these amazing flashes throughout the last decade, but, I mean, this is 2020. It's been a year removed, and you're in a new system. Again, in the NFL especially, people pay not what you've done in the past. They pay for what you can do in the future. And the reason why Brady's only got 2 years is because they believe he can only be productive for 2 more years. Obviously, when you get the GOAT, though, I mean, past success does kind of take into account. But besides quarterback, I mean, a lot of positions, right? We're talking running backs, receivers, critical positions such as tight ends even. They always look for what you can do in the future. And I don't know how this will work. Obviously, like, who's going to get the ball now? Evans, Godwin, Gronk. I mean, obviously, that's a ridiculous tandem. But we've seen talented rosters fold before. And the Bucks have a massive amount of talent, and mainly veterans, to be honest. And it's just like, how are they going to gel together? Because, again, I don't see their consistent go-to running back, which is going to hurt them, because if you can't run the ball, then passing is just going to be that much harder. Their offensive line still needs work. With the 14th pick, can you really get one of those top 4 tackles? It's up in the air right now, because even the Browns are questioning whether they can get one, and they have the 10th pick. So imagine at the 14th, what are you going to do there? Will you have enough assets to trade up? Maybe you have to give up OJ Howard, right? And again, like I mentioned, their secondary was absolutely atrocious. Like, for example, Christian Kirk, who didn't really have that good of a season, he came back, and I decided, for fantasy purposes, I decided to start him because, again, Tampa Bay 32nd pass defense. He lit them up for 140 and 3 touchdowns off an injury. Like, their secondary is inconsistent. They've drafted terribly in terms of defensive backs, and they really haven't been the same since the Rondé Barber-led secondary in the early 2000s. So, can this team? It's a real tough kind of trade to analyze because there's so many factors that go into it. But this could easily be one of the most crucial trades of the 2020 season in determining a Super Bowl winner, or it can easily be one of those trades that we just look at it like, Gronk was just a shell of himself, and the Bucks gave up a 4th-round pick that could maybe turn into a really good player.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of low risk because they are only giving up a 4th rounder, which is it's a substantial draft pick, but it's not the worst. But if they trade away OJ Howard, then it becomes a riskier move because you're banking all on this 1 year with Gronkowski. And if they give him another contract, I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. But if they trade away OJ Howard, I would really not like this move because of the huge risk it entails. And I guess I want to touch about the Patriots a little bit. I mean, they made a 4th-round pick appear out of midair with absolutely no effort on their part. Because think about it, Gronk just wanted to come back and play with Brady, and the Patriots got pretty much a free 4th-round pick out of it. So I thought that was a good move by the Patriots, taking a previously retired player and turning it into a 4th-round pick. Would you guys agree on that one?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it was a great trade for the Pats as well. I saw a meme where it's like Belichick traded a retired player in a 7th for a 4th. Like, that's a really good trade for the Pats. But, like, I mean, we also got to focus on, like, the division as a whole too for the Bucks, because they're not going to have an easy path. Like, no one's saying that. Like, that division could end up like being one of the toughest in the recent history of the sport. Like, I was just thinking about it. Like, it's starting to look like the old like NFC East, like 1980s, like 1990s. like when the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants used to bash each other, and like the winner of that division.
Don't forget the Redskins too. They won 3 Super Bowls in that era.
Yeah, true. I forgot to mention them, but all of those guys like used to bash each other, and the winner of that division would emerge just so battle tested that playing in a Super Bowl was easy. So we got to look at like now the South has the Bucks with Brady, Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. The Saints have Drew Brees, Jared Cook, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders now. The Falcons have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Todd Gurley. And then the Panthers have Christian McCaffrey and
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Hey, Panthers
and,
can win some games. I mean.
They
we'll
also have Christian McCaffrey.
They only have Christian McCaffrey. That's what you're going for right there.
Yeah.
So this trade really is an interesting one. It'll be very interesting to see how it pans out because if Gronk plays well, he could turn the Buccaneers into a Super Bowl contender. But if not, it can go down as just kind of one of the dumbest trades that we've seen in a while. Thank you for tuning in to this quick breaking news episode. We're going to have picks 17 through 32 of our redraft coming out tomorrow. So keep your eyes open for that. And the 2020 NFL Draft reaction. We're super excited for the draft. Thank you. Subscribe so you get notified when we upload new videos. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.